Direct, the money you could really use right now is just a phone call away. It's that simple. Call today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Approximately 50% of all newly confirmed cases since the previous day reported by the province were here in Toronto.
Toronto's medical officer of health updates the status of COVID-19 in Toronto, saying the city accounts for half of the cases in the province. Retail stores with front entrances are now allowed to open for business. We'll hear from shoppers and store owners, that is. That's just ahead.
We had the girls, and the girls came over. There was 6 of us, a direct family. None of the husband, boyfriends, no one came, just themselves.
And Premier Doug Ford raising some questions over physical distancing with family as his government prepares to extend the state of emergency. 8 o'clock and 6 degrees outside from 299 Queen Street West. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Hello, I'm Courtney Heels. 4 more residents at a long-term care home in North York have died of COVID-19. The virus has now killed 35 residents at Hawthorne Place Care Centre near Jane and Finch. The number of residents who are currently infected has risen to 94, this following retesting by public health officials. The facility says results are pending for about 30 tests. 84 staff members at Hawthorne Place have also contracted COVID-19. Legal action is formally being taken by the family members of a resident who died in Orchard Villa long-term care home, one of the facilities worst affected by COVID-19. The Parks family is calling on support workers to speak up about what's happening in the home, saying that the death of their father and grandfather, Paul Parks, seemed to be the culmination of many years of problems in the system. Howie Sachs and Henry LLP is the firm representing the family and expects to be retained by other families of residents of Orchard Villa, with individual claims being filed for each one. CTV News reached out to both Orchard Villa and its parent company this afternoon for comment on this lawsuit. So far, there has been no response. One of the members of the Parks family is an employee of Bell Media. Toronto's medical officer of health has confirmed the first COVID-19 death in the city's shelter system.
Sadly, on May 8th, a man in his 50s who was a resident at Dixon Hall Schoolhouse died in hospital. On behalf of my team, I extend sincerest condolences to this individual's friends and family, and to all others in our community who have lost loved ones to COVID-19.
There was an outbreak at Dixon Hall back in April, but it was declared over by May the 5th. Congregate living settings such as shelters are potential hotspots for the spread of the coronavirus. The city has been buying and leasing hotels in an effort to house the homeless during the pandemic. There have been 258 cases of COVID-19 in the city's shelters thus far. Here are the latest numbers from the city tonight. 11 new deaths brings that total to 589. With 144 new cases, Toronto has seen 7,557 cases so far. Over 5,300 of those cases have recovered. A Loblaw store in the West End is closed to customers as it deals with a number of COVID-19 cases among staff members. The Christie and DuPont location has seen cases since April, despite implementing safety measures like deep cleaning and employee temperature scans. On Facebook, the store posted about its latest case just this past weekend. Loblaw isn't disclosing just how many staff have been infected, but it does say for more than a month we've faced the challenge of multiple confirmed cases at this location, asking many members of the team to stay home for safety's sake.
He didn't say much. That's why I'm a reasonable man. Like, if you said something reasonable, I'd take it. But it's just like, no, it's closed indefinitely.
I wasn't sure exactly why they were doing it. If it is actually because of COVID-19, I'd say it's about time. Because it's usually a quick cleanup, and then they're 24 hours later, they're open.
If there are outbreaks in the store, then I think it's a very responsible decision to do.
The store will only provide PC Express pickup orders. It is working with Toronto Public Health to determine contact tracing. Non-essential businesses with sidewalk entrances are now allowed to reopen, but with restrictions. For more on this, we'll bring in CP24's Chanel Call. Chanel, I feel like you've been kind of all over the city following this story tonight. What's the latest?
Well, the good news, Courtney, is wherever we've been, we haven't seen any lineup. So for the most part, people are staying home. But as you noted, any non-essential retail business that has a curbside entrance, just like this one here in Riverside, can now open up for curbside pickup. I'll show you what's going on here. This has a sign outside its doors saying that they're open for curbside pickup. Limited hours, though, Fridays and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. As I noted, we're here in Riverside. This is an area here on Queen Street East with so many local businesses. Some of them now offering curbside pickup. Some of them cannot. There are some issues with staffing shortages, inventory shortages. But from the shoppers we spoke to today, most of them are happy to see at least some of these businesses back up and running in some capacity.
Yeah, I definitely am excited about it. I think it's great that the stores are opening for curbside pickup, and I find it a good sign that the city will be reopening soon.
Yeah, it's nice to actually see everybody open and being able to have an opportunity to get back in the groove of things. It's hard to actually being able to get things and like grocery shopping, any kind of normal regular things. So it's nice to be able to go there and put in a pre-order, pick it up.
And Courtney, today the mayor launching a new program to help 3,000 independent businesses set up online stores. The Shop Here program open to local artists, businesses with less than 10 employees, and independent restaurants and bars with less than 25 employees. Here's more from the mayor.
The program will provide Toronto's independent businesses and artists with a template to develop an online store, customized with the information, branding, and logo of the business or the artist, hands-on assistance setting up and launching the online store, training and support for digital marketing, shipping, and operating an online store, and access to free tools and online advertising credits to support the launch of the online store. An estimated 49,500 Toronto businesses, 7,300 of them restaurants, bars, or cafes, are eligible for the Shop Here program.
So you heard there, Courtney, the mayor saying more than 49,000 local businesses or artists are eligible for this program. That's obviously far exceeding the capacity of just 3,000 at this time. So the mayor is calling on local tech companies to step up and perhaps volunteer their time to help out other local businesses. The program, the mayor says, will run until the end of August. For now, it's back to you.
Okay, Chanel Call reporting live tonight. Thank you, Chanel. Mississauga's Mayor Bonnie Crombie says it is going to be an adjustment for customers and businesses alike as more non-essential stores are allowed to reopen.
I've had the opportunity to do it myself. My daughter and I bought ourselves some bicycles so that we could have some fresh air. Put the order in with our local Canadian Tire, and I lined up with everyone else and picked up the bikes, put them in my trunk on the curbside pickup. So it works very well when you once you get the knack of it. Everything is a big adjustment, so it's changing businesses. I heard Mayor Tory about operating those new web portals for his retailers. It's a great idea for the arts community. I am very familiar with a couple of our retailers as well who have pretty much moved their businesses online now.
The provincial government is moving to extend Ontario's state of emergency. With the current order set to expire tomorrow, the Premier will be asking MPPs to approve the extension until June the 2nd during an emergency session of the legislature tomorrow. Only 42 MPPs, or one-third of the legislature, will be in attendance for this. The opposition will also have an opportunity to question the government about its response to the pandemic.
Until we see a consistent flow of 2 weeks, and we've seen some really positive numbers, but we need consistency for 2 weeks. But to continue moving forward, yes, we're going to have to renew the state of emergency. Once we get through this, well, that's going to be taken off the table. And once we see the confidence within the system and we see the numbers drop consistently, we're crossing our fingers. We're on the right path right now.
The province is reporting 308 new cases of COVID-19 and 35 new deaths today. That is a slight increase from yesterday's total of 294. The total number of cases in Ontario is now 20,546, including a total of 1,669 deaths and more than 15,000 recoveries. Ontario's Financial Accountability Office has released some dire figures for its spring economic outlook. The FAO projects the province's budget deficit will quadruple to $41 billion. That is the largest in Ontario's history. The budget watchdog says economic recovery will depend on successfully containing the pandemic and the pace at which the economy can be safely reopened.
The pandemic and COVID certainly has changed everything. I'm pleased that we made the decision to do a one-year plan, but to provide that financial framework, which we did in March. Obviously, we will, by November 15th, have a full budget, which was part of our commitment. So that will involve a multi-year plan.
And the FAO is also projecting real GDP will decline by a record 9% in 2020. It appears Premier Doug Ford is contradicting public health advice as his family came over for a visit over the weekend. Ford revealed he had his two daughters visit him, but no husbands and boyfriends were allowed. His two other daughters live in the home. But the province's COVID-19 website advises people to adhere to physical distancing measures by staying at least 2 meters apart from anyone outside of your household.
We had the girls, and the girls came over. There was 6 of us. A direct family, none of the husband, boyfriends, no one came, just themselves. And I think if we can keep it to as small as possible gatherings, that would be very helpful.
And Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health was asked if the Premier's decision to have his daughters over violated physical distancing guidelines.
We have allowed that kind of distance gathering in that sense there. So whether someone's 6 feet away in different aspects, I don't know the details there. So, and again, I didn't hear a lot from what the Premier had shared in that event there. We're just asking people in general that you, with outside your unit, whatever that is you have, and some have an extended family within the unit, and there's all sorts of different definitions, that you can still have visitation. You're trying to represent that physical distancing in that sense there, even if it's in the same geographical area.
And the NDP leader, Andrea Horwath, also commented on the Premier admitting to meeting with family members outside of his household on the weekend.
The Premier made his own choices on the weekend. I had a lovely Mother's Day with my son at home. And, you know, again, I get it that people are really desperate for that close contact with their loved ones. But what we want to avoid is, a re-spreading of the disease. We want to avoid the disease, taking hold again and spreading through the community.
Now, the Premier's office has released this statement. It reads in part, thanks to our collective efforts, we are now in a position where we can start to plan to ease public health measures. As we do, we continue to rely on Ontarians to use their best judgment when interacting with individuals from outside their household. For example, staying 6 feet apart, ensuring people are symptom-free, and continuing to practice proper hygiene. 8:13 and 5 degrees outside. This is Toronto's breaking news. CP24, your weather forecast is coming up next. Stay with us.
Better days will take some work. But RAM is more than willing to do our share. Right now, with Employee Pricing Plus, you pay what we pay. 0% financing for 84 months and no payments for 120 days. And you can shop online at ramtruck.ca. RAM, helping you drive forward with Employee Pricing Plus and 0% financing for 84 months.
Meteorologist Chris Potter is standing by with a look at the forecast. So for the last couple of days, Chris, it's been pretty cool, but it sounds like it's improving over the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it will still be seasonably cool tomorrow as well as Wednesday, but we have a lot of sunshine to look forward to as opposed to snow like a lot of areas received last night. And we've seen it so far since this past Friday. Things will change, and we're finally going to step out of this more winter-like weather pattern. Temperatures will recover, and we're expecting to be at least in the high teens, if not the low 20s, for the entire long weekend. In terms of the now, there is a bit of a chill in the air. The winds are luckily becoming a little bit lighter, but temperatures themselves basically stuck in the mid-single digits. 5 in the city, 4 through Markham, and 3 through Newmarket, as well as Orangeville. The winds are dying down a little bit, but still enough to make it feel on average closer to 0. The winds predominantly coming in from the northwest, anywhere from 20 to 30 kilometers an hour, and we are continuing to clear out, and that's going to be the story through the overnight. Generally clear with lighter winds, the opportunity for some patchy frost. So it's not going to be all that ideal in terms of the temperature story tomorrow either. Daytime highs will stall at around 10. Some areas might struggle to get there. It looks dry in the city with just some passing cloud in the afternoon, but a few showers and a few pop-up flurries even well to the north and northeast. By Wednesday, we're back into sunshine, and that's basically the story the entire day. With a lighter wind, it's going to be pleasant, but there's still going to be a chill in the air, especially to start. They should start off temperature-wise just below 0, back up to 13 for the afternoon. 13 for Thursday again with rain moving in primarily during the evening and overnight, but they'll at least try to make their appearance known by the afternoon. We should dry out before daybreak on Friday, and temperatures will be rebounding nicely. We get into a much warmer wind, daytime highs around 21 to 22, and with the exception of a few spotty early morning showers, the day will be dry. Dry again for Saturday, rain returns Sunday, but the sun returns by Monday to wrap up the long weekend with highs back in the low 20s again. Courtney.
All right, Chris, thank you. Durham Regional Police are urging a kidnapping suspect to turn himself in. Michael Nanton Madden is considered armed and dangerous. Police say the 25-year-old eluded police at a residence in Welland. He is believed to be driving a black 2009 two-door BMW with the Ontario license plate CLJA289. Nanton Madden is accused of being involved in an incident where 3 victims were kidnapped, then forced to take out money from their bank accounts. They were rescued by police in Pickering. Nova Scotia RCMP say they will be conducting a psychological autopsy of the gunman who killed 22 people last month. Investigators say a personality analysis will be conducted with the intent of gathering some insight into the shooter. The analysis will look at how he related to others and his past behavior. The Mounties say they've also identified the business that made the RCMP decals used on the gunman's car. Investigators have spoken to 500 witnesses so far in this case. And a somber procession in Nova Scotia for one of the Canadian Forces members killed in last month's helicopter crash off the coast of Greece. The remains of Sub-Lieutenant Abigail Cobra were transported to a funeral home in Dartmouth today. The family of the 23-year-old Marine Systems engineering officer was joined by military and civilian dignitaries in the procession. Cobra was originally from Toronto, but made her home in the Halifax area. Meanwhile, the partial remains of Captain Brendan Ian McDonald have been identified. The remains of 4 other crew members killed in the crash have yet to be found, but the recovery efforts continue. 8:18, 5 degrees outside. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. It is now a requirement for everyone who enters the West Wing in the White House to wear a mask or a face covering. So we'll have details on this right after the break.
The people have spoken. Wednesday on CTV.
Every week you come to win.
They busted a move and wowed the crowd.
Nailed it.
Let the semifinals begin. Frog, Turtle, Rhino, Night Angel. Who will be sent packing?
Are you kidding me?
Buckle up. What? It's going to be a wild night.
Whoa.
Get into The Masked Singer. All new. Followed by After the Mask.
Let's get this after party started.
It all starts Wednesday at 8, 9 Mountain, only on CTV. Then stream anytime.
Together, we're making a difference to stop the spread of COVID-19. As businesses reopen, practice physical distancing, and wear face coverings where distancing is a challenge. Stay safe, save lives. Visit ontario.ca/coronavirus. Do you want to
healthy home? Get your rugs cleaned by Love Your Rug. Steam cleaning your rugs won't remove dust and allergens. Love Your Rug's 6-stage process means your rugs get cleaned properly. Free pickup and delivery services all over Ontario.
It's time to love your rug.
Do you have a wet, damp, or moldy basement? Call the oldest and largest waterproofing company. Call RCC. Whether your basement needs to be repaired from the outside or the inside, we'll consult you on the right solution. Call RCC Waterproofing today. Family owned and operated since 1920.
Find a great selection of appliances, mattresses, and furniture at leons.ca with amazing deals, experts you can chat with online, and available finance options. Plus, get free local delivery right to your doorstep. Shopping online is easier than ever at leons.ca.
With new info coming in rapidly, CP24 is keeping track of it all. The latest live from public health officials, on air, online, and on the iHeartRadio app. Live on CP24.
Closed captioning of this CP24 program is brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyer. Injured in a car accident? The number to call is 1-800-JUSTICE for a free consultation and our no-win, no-fee policy.
Here are the latest numbers from across the country tonight. We have had just over 69,000 cases of COVID-19 in Canada, with more than 32,000 recoveries. The death toll has now reached 4,900. Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, provided an update on a COVID-19 vaccine. Tam says it is still early.
We're still in this sort of relatively early stage where there's a lot of research, which is great news. So I would say over 100 sort of different candidates being looked at right now as potentials, some going into sort of early stage clinical trials. So it is still early stage. But nonetheless, we are engaging all the capacities in Canada to have a look at what is in the realm of the possible. So you don't actually have a sort of lead candidate vaccine yet, but we are absolutely monitoring every one of these and looking at domestic capabilities linked to it.
The federal government is doling out more money to protect jobs. Bridge loans and financing are being made available to the country's largest employers. The financing is meant for companies whose financial needs aren't being met by conventional credit, so they can stay open and keep employees on their payrolls. The program is aimed at companies with $300 million or more in revenues.
Recently, we've announced measures for small business. But we know that the historic scope of this crisis has meant that mid-sized and large businesses are facing significant challenges as well. These companies employ millions of Canadians and provide for families across our country. So today we're announcing new liquidity support measures. For mid-sized companies, we're expanding the Business Credit Availability Program to provide guarantees, lending, and matching investment for transactions of up to $60 million, or $80 million in the case of guarantees.
The Finance Minister, Bill Morneau, says companies who use tax havens will not be considered for the financial package. It is now a requirement for everyone who enters the West Wing in the White House to wear a mask or a face covering. Staff can remove their face coverings if they sit at least 6 feet apart from their colleagues. The new directive is outlined in a new memo sent to staff today. This comes after 2 staffers tested positive for COVID-19 last week. U.S. President Trump hasn't worn a mask in public or in private since the pandemic began.
If you look at all of those people over there, every one of them, from what I see, these are White House staffers, they're White House representatives, they're White House executives, and everybody has a mask on. We've had just about everybody I've seen today has worn a mask.
U.S. health officials say they are disappointed with a Colorado restaurant's decision to open for sit-down service on Sunday. Video taken by Colorado community media shows a crowd inside the CNC Kitchen and Coffee in Castle Rock on Mother's Day. In a tweet, the restaurant's owners say they were standing up for America, small business, and against the overreach of Colorado's Democratic governor in his response to the virus. It is 8:24 and 5 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24. A family effort is brewing up support for frontline workers. We have details on this right after the break.
As new patient numbers show signs of dropping, what steps will be taken to reopen the city and the province? And how will it all unfold? The latest live, on air, online, and on the iHeartRadio app on CP24.
I'm Russell Oliver.
I'm the cash man. I'll give you money for your clothes. I'm the cash man. I'll give you money for your clothes.
Oh, yeah.
I used to not love wearing an SPF just because I felt like it was so oily and greasy. But with Olay Regenerist Whip SPF 25, it's so lightweight. I love it. I'm Busy Phillips, and I'm fearless to face anything.
Together, we're making a difference to stop the spread of COVID-19. As businesses reopen, practice physical distancing and wear face coverings where distancing is a challenge. Stay safe, save lives. Visit ontario.ca/coronavirus.
Myth, the insurance company will pay you long-term disability benefits if you claim you're too disabled to work. Fact, insurance companies will use every tactic they can to deny your claim. They have their own interests in mind and not yours. Cariotti Law knows how to fight for your long-term disability benefits when you've been wrongfully denied.
If your long-term disability insurance has been denied, call us for help.
Call Cariotti Law at 905-629-8040 today.
Oliver Jewelry has locations across the GTA. But don't forget, we're still here at Eglinton and Avenue Road, and it's wide open. We'll even pay for your parking. Bring us your gold, diamonds, watches, and handbags. Oh, yeah.
A group of cousins is using their social distancing time to say thank you. Every day, the group drops off free coffee to frontline workers at GTA hospitals and grocery stores. They organized their efforts online and collected money from friends through social media. The family says they do it to brighten up the day of everyday people who are making a difference right now during this pandemic.
Everyone was just home. Some of us were laid off. Some of us were working from home, homeschooling our children. And we felt that we needed to give back to our everyday heroes.
Coffee for Frontline received nearly $4,000 in donations within the first week and a half of going online. The cousins say it has been such a success. They're now donating items to shelters, food banks, and schools in addition to their daily coffee runs. 8:27 and 5 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news. CP24 retail stores with front entrances are allowed to open for business. We will have those details when we come back. Stay with us.
Hey, honey, can you give me a hand?
Yep.
Never mind. I got it.
PlayOLG's online casino has all your favorite jackpot slots and table games like blackjack and roulette. It's big time fun.
Nice.
Your casino's ready. Register now at playolg.ca and get a $30 sign-up bonus.
Better days are ahead. We are all one Jeep community, and we can help. We're here for all your essential service needs. We're offering innovative shopping tools at Jeep.ca. And right now, you pay what we pay, with no payments for 120 days. Jeep, helping you drive forward, with Employee Pricing Plus and 0% financing for 84 months.
A lot of folks ask me why their dishwasher doesn't get everything clean. I tell them, it may be your detergent. That's why more dishwasher brands recommend Cascade Platinum. It's specially designed with the soaking, scrubbing, and rinsing built right in. And unlike Finish tablets, Cascade Platinum dissolves quickly. Cascade Platinum removes stuck-on food for sparkling clean dishes the first time. Choose a detergent that lets your dishwasher do the dishes. Cascade Platinum, the #1 recommended brand in North America.
With CIBC Global Money Transfer, send money abroad securely from your home at $0 transfer fee. You can do it online or through the CIBC mobile app. Visit cibc.com/global transfer for details.
80% of men with erectile dysfunction have a physical condition and not a psychological one. Revita Medical will improve your love life, confidence, and performance. Revive your life and get Revita today. Take our erectile function test. Go to getrevita.ca. You'll both thank us.
Approximately 50